Hello everyone, this is Subra Sharma, your favorite physics teacher, and today we are going to discuss about a topic which is being used most extensively in 11th and 12th studies, that is equilibrium. So let's start study equilibrium. Now friends, when we try to say that a body is in equilibrium, what do we actually mean? Suppose we say that a body is in equilibrium. So by saying that a body is in equilibrium, there are two aspects equally important. One is translational equilibrium, and the other one is rotational equilibrium. I hope you are aware of the concepts of translational motion and rotational motion. Anyway, I am going to give you a brief introduction about what is translational motion. So students, whenever a body moves in such a way that the velocity of each of the individual particles is same, that is, they are moving with the same speed as well as they are moving in the same direction, then the body is said to be in translational motion. But how does a body gets into translational motion? It happens because of a force, and when the net force acting on the body, is zero, we conclude that the body is in translational equilibrium. And by saying that, we also mean that the summation of forces along x-axis is zero, the summation of forces along the y-axis is zero, and also the summation of forces along the z-axis is zero. Now, since we have completed what is translational equilibrium, we are going to study what is rotational equilibrium. And before that, again I am going to give you a brief introduction about what is rotational motion. Now students, if a body moves about a axis in such a way that the perpendicular distance of each of the individual particle remains same, then the body is said to be in rotational motion. Example, suppose this is the axis about which a rod is being rotated, let's say with angular velocity omega. So students, the perpendicular distance of each of the particles is constant. Now, what makes a body rotate? So the answer is torque. Torque makes the body rotate. Similarly, when we were talking about the translational equilibrium, we had said the net force acting on a body must be zero, and when we say about the rotational equilibrium, we mean to say the net torque acting on the body must be zero. That means there must be no rotation, there must be no rotational motion of the body. Now we are going to discuss the translational equilibrium and rotational equilibrium with the help of an example. But before that, I will give you a very important note for translational equilibrium and rotational equilibrium. Students, it is very much possible that the net force acting on a body is zero, but the net torque is not zero. And what's that example? Let's see. So suppose that we have a rod of length L, and it is being subjected to two forces in such a way that one force is acting like this of magnitude F, and the other force is acting like this. and the distance between the center point and this point, let's say this is L by 2, and similarly the distance between these 2 points is also L by 2. Now students, let's see what is the net force acting on this body. So you can see that there are no forces acting along the x-axis. Similarly, there are no forces acting along the z-axis, but there are 2 forces acting along the y-axis, and these are F along the positive y direction and this F along the negative y direction. So we can see that the net force acting on the body is 0 because it is the conditions are being fulfilled. The summation of Fx is 0, the summation of Fy is 0, this and F in this F gets cancelled out, and summation of Fz is 0. But what about the net torque? And when we say torque, we mean that R cross F. Now what is this R? This R is the position vector which is being directed from this point to this point. I hope you are aware with the concept of right hand rule. Anyway, I'm going to give you an idea how to use right hand rule. So what we do is, let's name this point as O, and we are trying to calculate torque about point O. So what do we do now? We place our palm of the right hand, we place the fingers along the direction of R. This is our R, this is R. We place the direction of our palm along the R and we try to close our fingers along the direction of F, like this. And what is our direction of thumb? It is outside the board. That means the torque acting about this point is like this. Alright. Similarly students, let's see what's the torque from due to this force. So again, we are going to place our palm like this and we are trying to close our fingers in such a way that it touches the force. So again, the thumb is in the direction of outside the board. Therefore, we can say that torque because of this force, due to this force, is also outside the board. Now we can say that the net torque will be about point O would be, and since the angle is 90 degree, therefore sin 90 will be 1 and it will be L by 2 into F, and direction is outside the board, plus L by 2 into F, and also the direction is outside the board. So the net torque comes out to be F into L and the direction is outside the board. So students, the note that I have given you, that it is not necessary that if the net force acting on a body is 0, then the net torque would also be 0. So here is the example. In this question, the net force is 0, but the net torque comes out to be F into L, and the direction of net torque is outside the board. Thank you very much.